There are three things that can instantly change the way you play and the way you sound. And believe it or not, it's not just about practicing more, playing more scales, and improve your technique. Sometimes the next step is really just about deciding which notes you are actually going to play and analyze the things that you play so that you can understand how to make it sound better. In this lesson, I'm going to show you the chord progression that I was playing at the beginning of the video. And I'm going to analyze with you the things that I played and the musical elements that I decided to use when I played these chords and the melody. Now, there are really just three elements that I decided to use for this particular musical idea. The first element is the over-ringing, meaning I'm trying to let each note of the chords and each note of the melody ring out beautifully. The second element is note choice, meaning I try to pick the right notes for the melody. And the goal here is to keep the melody within the chords so that we can use the over-ringing to bring out the melody even more. The third element is the melody shape, meaning I want to try to shape the melody so that it sounds good. And I want to develop the melody every time I go back to it. So the first time I play it, it's played in the first position. The second time, I want to change it up a little bit. And the third time. It's extremely important, guys. You don't want to keep things random. You don't want to just play things, but you want to analyze what you play so that you can change it up a little bit and make it sound beautiful. Now we are in C sharp minor / E major. It's a beautiful key on the guitar, and we explored this key many times already. Now the very first section is the melody, which is played right before we play the very first chord. So we have the G string here in the fret number 1 and a hammer on fret number 2, B string open and the E string open. And then the E string fret number 2, 4, and then 1 and then 2, 4, 2 and open with a hammer on and pull off. So and then we play the very first chord. Now the over-ringing here is extremely important. C sharp minor 9. Just the fret number 4, nothing, 4 and 4 and the E string open. I play the bass note first, then the G and B string and the E string open. Then I play the B string open, which is the melody. And I change chord and I play this beautiful A sus2. A string open, G string and D string fret number 2. And the B string open again, and then the G string fret number 1, which is the melody over the E major chord, low E string, and the top E string open. So when I put the whole thing together, now we're going to repeat the same section, but the melody is going to be played like this. So we have the same C sharp minor 9, and then the A major chord on the B string fret number 7, the A string open, E string open, and back to the B string fret number 7, and the B string fret number 9. The low E string, this is now the E major chord, and the top E string open. So you see how we change chords almost without even changing anything. It's just about working on the notes of the melody and make sure that we choose the right notes to blend in within the chords. Now the first section again, the same C sharp minor 9, and then we jump here, and this is really important, guys, the melody shape. You know, we've been bringing this melody up, melody, but then we play the B string on fret number 12, and this is a really important point. We are developing the melody. The first time we played in position 1, the second time we go up to the fret number 7, so the melody shape is going up. Now the third time we're gonna go further up and bring it all the way up to the fret number 12. So the B string fret number 12, A string open and the E string open. Now I'm going to change the chords here as we are opening up a different section. Now this is a beautiful transition between the B major chord and the C sharp minor. And I'm playing the low E string fret number 7, which is the bass note, and then the D string fret number 9 and the G string fret number 8, and the B string open. And then we play like a difficult, challenging slide here. Now it is challenging because we're gonna try to keep the over-ringing. So once you're done playing the B major, you wanna put down the G string fret number 9, still holding the same chord. And then I slide on fret 11, and I add the low E string fret number 9 as the bass note. And then the top E string open. And then the B string open. So let's just play it one more time slowly. Now we go to the A major. So just the A string open, the D and the G string fret number 2, and the B string open, and the E string open. Again, guys, the over-ringing here is really important. And we play the melody on fret number 2, slide on 4, and the pull off on the E string open. And we finish with this beautiful B major. 2, 4 and 4, and the E string open. So the goal here is not to play as many notes as possible. In fact, we are playing just a few notes, but we are using the over-ringing to make it sound beautiful, and we are trying to develop the melody so that it follows a certain shape and contour. So you can practice this, and then you can move on to the next section, which is a little bit different. Now the second section is more of an improv, meaning I like to play over 2 chords and then just play notes from the E major scale. So now I don't really think too much in this section, meaning I don't really choose all the notes carefully. It's more of an improv, so I kind of follow the E major scale. Now the 2 chords that we're playing are the G sharp minor chord and the A major. So just 4, 4 and 4, and the top E string. And you can just strum the A sus2, and then once you do that, we play the bass note again, So we could play the E major scale in position 1, for example, the D string fret number 2 and 4, and then fret number 1, 2, the B string open, the fret number 2, 4, open, 2, 4. So I have a set of notes. And just improvise something very simple. That we do again. Now I'm playing the E major scale in a different position. On the E string, fret number 7, 5, and 4, 7, 5, 4, and fret number 6 and fret number 4. Again, same thing here, the E major scale. Fret number 9, 7, 10, 9, 7, and 9 on the G string. And then we finish. With the B major and the C sharp minor 9. Now I really like to combine these two sections because in the first one, we're actually thinking of each note that we are playing. There is not really any improvisation. We decide which notes we're playing, we decide how we want to structure the melody. But the second section is more of an improv. So it's pretty cool to just let go of all the rules, just learn the E major scale in one position, and just play something different every time. So I'm going to leave you to practice this, guys. Thank you so much for watching this lesson, and I'll see you next time.